no shame. What's up, hobby friends? February was a pretty productive month for my hobby. I managed to get most of what I wanted to get done painted. So that includes finishing off all of my Junkforce heroes, so my Endrin Master, my Navigator, my Chemist, and my 3 Endrin champions. Got those all painted, so really all that's left for that army is 2 gun haulers. I also painted up another knight for the House Taranis project I'm working on. I've been working back and forth with a client in France, and the army looks to be going to be growing to something pretty expansive, so that's something to look forward to over the coming months as I add more to that army. And I didn't quite get to the Deathwatch chaplain. I wanted to paint him up to start figuring out the colors and the way I want to paint black for my Deathwatch, but I may or may not have lost the first 2 weeks of the month to playing Fallout 4 and didn't have as much time as I anticipated to get that thing painted. All that means is that the Deathwatch chaplain is being bumped to March. So my goals for March are much less ambitious. It's a shorter hobby month for me. I've got the Silent King for my Necrons I want to get painted up. We're doing a box challenge among some of my friends, and he's one of my goals for the month. I also want to get the chaplain painted, and with the new Pariah Kill Team box coming out, and I'm picking up another Elite Edition box this week as well, I should be able to round out and fully build my 2,000 point Deathwatch army. Speaking of building, I also spent a week this month building most of my Deathwatch. I've gotten all the infantry built, and I'm about halfway through my 8 Outriders. I kind of lost a bit of steam when I realized I would have to carve out all of the shoulder pads and resculpt all the gauntlets, and the fact that I was also short 2 Outriders. So I think for March I want to get them all fully built so I can start playing some quarantine games with them. Really looking forward to working on this army. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And then if I have time to fit them in, I don't know how long the Silent King and the Chaplain will take me, I'm going to start painting my gun haulers. If I don't get them started at any point in March, that's fine. They'll just bump to April. I think they'll be the fun pieces to finish off the army, set them aside, and then I can dive right into Deathwatch while I wait for the new Soulblight book to come out. In terms of the videos I have planned for this week, so we've been spending a couple of weeks learning the ins and outs of Photoshop, learning a lot of the basic tools, and the next couple of videos that we're going to cover in Photoshop are going to be taking those tools, taking that knowledge, and really applying them in a practical way. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to learn how to create custom color schemes or to modify images to figure out new color schemes. I'm going to be using the image of Serac painted by Games Workshop, and I'm going to be tailoring it or adjusting it to try and figure out my own color scheme and how I want to paint it to match my army. And then we're also going to be looking at how to use Photoshop to do some basic photo editing and photo and color manipulation for any photos that we take of our models or our projects or whatever. I also recorded the process of painting one of my Endrin riggers. I've gotten a lot of requests for how I do the battle damage and the rusting and weathering effects. And so I recorded a long form video that I will edit down that hopefully explains the process and will help shed some light on the techniques and the approach that I use to weathering my models. I also have a quick video on how I do the desert bases for my Junkforce. I've been on a very desert theme for a lot of my bases and a lot of my terrain, and I think my Deathwatch are going to be the same. I've been experimenting with different approaches to do a desert theme, so I have something like a Martian wasteland for my Necrons. I've got something more of like a Gobi or Sahara desert for my Junkforce, and I may try something drier and a bit more desaturated for my Deathwatch. I'm not quite sure yet. That's one of the questions that I need to have answered when I experiment with my Deathwatch chaplain. We'll see how that goes. So that's it in terms of hobby goals for this month. It's fairly short. I don't have a lot of projects, but they're fairly big projects. And I'm looking forward to sharing those with you on my social media. So if you enjoyed the video, give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe for more weekly content and follow my Instagram at SirJohnTheHo for daily updates on my hobby projects. Until next time, happy hobbying.